Key topics. Introduction to SQL, which is a valuable skill in today's data-driven world. Relational database concepts, including the tables, fields, and relationships. And then followed by SQL Syntax and Queries, where you will get hands-on experience on writing, select, insert, update, and delete statements. And then filtering and sorting the data. So I will show you how to extract specific information from database. Joins and relationships, where we can able to fetch the data from multiple tables using different types of joins. Understanding joins is a crucial when working with complex data structures. And then followed by aggregate functions, data manipulations, where we can do operations like inserting, updating, and deleting records in a database. Store procedures, creating, updating, and executing the store procedures. At the end, we will learn how I can able to export a database and how we can able to import a database. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a strong understanding of these SQL topics. This will give you confidence on your SQL career journey. So let's dive right into the first tutorial of our SQL series and begin this exciting SQL learning adventure together. What is RDBMS? RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. It's a type of database management system. It is based on relational model of data, and data is stored in tables. The most popular relational databases are Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL. In our previous videos where we explain what is RDBMS in depth, where we explain what is database management system and what is relational database management system and the relationships like one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one and many-to-many relationships. So I highly recommend you to watch this video to understand what is relational database management system and its relationships. One can find the link on the top right corner of the screen and the link in the description below. What is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is the language that is used to interact with the database, allowing a user to perform tasks such as creating, inserting, and modifying the data. In our previous video, we explained what is SQL and its career opportunities. You will find the link to that video in the top right corner of the screen and the link in the description below as well. Tables. In RDBMS, data is stored in tables, with each table consisting of set of rows and columns. The column represents attributes of the data, while the row represents individual records. So here, in the players table, every column representing attributes of players, and each row representing individual players' data. Data types. A data type specifies a type of data that can be stored in a column of database table. It determines the range of values that can be assigned to the column and operations that can be performed on those values. Commonly used data types categories in SQL Server are numeric, string, date and time, and binary. Numeric types used for storing numbers, integers, floats, and decimal. String types used for storing alphanumeric text data. Date and time used for storing dates and times. And the binary strings used for storing binary data. SQL Constraints. Constraints are used to define rules and restrictions on the data that can be stored in database tables. It helps maintain data integrity and enforce certain conditions on the data. Some common types of constraints in SQL are primary key constraint, foreign key, unique, check, not null, and default. Not null constraint, it ensures that a column cannot have a null value. Unique constraint ensures all values in a column are different. Primary key, a combination of not null and unique. It uniquely identifies each row in a table. Foreign key constraint, it establishes a relationship between the two tables based upon a value of a column. It ensures that value in a foreign key column of one table match the primary key value in the another table. Check ensures the values in a column satisfies a specific condition. A default constraint, it sets a default value for a column if no value is specified. Let's have a small example to understand these constraints. In this example, we have two tables, employees table and the departments table. In the employees table, we have a columns, employee ID, name, employee number, age, is active and department ID. Every column associated with constraint. Employee ID is associated with a primary key constraint, name associated with the not null constraint, employee number associated with unique constraint, age associated with the check constraint, is active associated with the default constraint, and the department ID associated with the foreign key constraint. Let's see one by one. The column employee ID is associated with the primary key constraint. It ensures that a value must be unique and cannot contain null value. If I insert 3, then 3 is a unique and it's not null. But I cannot able to insert 2 or I cannot able to insert null because a primary key constraint, it ensures that a value must be unique and it should be a not null. A column name associated with not null constraint. A not null constraint enforces a column must have a value for every row. Employee number is associated with unique constraint. A unique constraint enforces that a value must be unique in a column employee number 102. A main difference between the unique and the primary key is unique will allow one null value where the primary key will not allow a null value. What it means? I can have a value null because the unique allows one null value and the primary key will not allow any null value. If I am going to update another data with null, then it will not allow because it is not unique, because the unique constraint will allow only one null value. Column age associated with check constraint. A check constraint allows you to define a condition that must be true for a data to be inserted or updated in a column. It provides a way to enforce specific rules on the values. That is, I can able to insert only those values which are greater than 20. Column is active is associated with default constraint. Default constraint specifies a default value for a column. When new row is inserted and no value is provided explicitly, then a default value will be inserted. Department ID column associated with foreign key constraint. Foreign key constraint establishes a relationship between the two tables based on the values of a column. It ensures that values in the foreign key column of one table matches the primary key value of another table. So a department ID column must have a value that should be matches with a primary key value of the table departments. I hope that this example helps you to understand the concept of constraints. Let's launch the SQL Server Management Studio. After launching the Management Studio, we need to select a server instance. If you don't find any server instance, you can click on Browse for More and expand the database engine, and you can select any server instance, click OK. And then select the authentication mode, Windows or SQL Server, and then click Connect. By this, we are successfully able to connect a SQL Server instance. SQL Server Management Studio Object Explorer is a graphical user interface tool used to manage and administrate SQL Server instance. It provides a visual representation of database server and its objects, allowing user to interact with database, tables, views, store procedures, and other database objects. From the Object Explorer, one can able to disconnect the instance and one can able to connect an instance. Create table command, it creates a new table in the database. Alter table command, it modifies an existing table structure. Drop table command, it deletes an existing table from the database. Select command, it retrieves the data from one or more tables based on specified criteria. Insert command, it inserts a new record into a table. Update command, it modifies existing record in a table. Delete command, delete the records from a table based on specified criteria. Create, alter, drop, it falls under data definition language. Insert, update, delete, it falls under data manipulation language. And the select, it falls under data query language. Let's see all these commands one by one. Let's create a table named employees with several columns and additional constraints. Employee ID column, it is defined as an integer data type and a primary key constraint is applied. Employee name column, it is defined as a variable length character with a maximum of 100 characters and a not null constraint is applied. Employee number column, it is defined as a variable length character with a maximum length of 20 characters and a unique constraint is applied. Salary column, it is defined as a decimal data type. And isActive column, it is defined as a big data type which can store a binary value of either 0 or 1. 1 means true and 0 means false. Age column, it is defined as an integer data type. The null constraint is specified. The check constraint ensures that the age value must be greater than or equal to 18. This constraint restricts the insertion of a value that does not meet the specified condition. Let's execute this command to create a table in the database. A table has been created and we can expand the columns where we can see all the columns which we specified in the create table definition. Alter table. Alter table statement adds columns to a table or modify or drop column from a table. The syntax for adding a column, it looks like this. Alter table, table name, add, column name and the data type. Add is a clause that lets you add a new column to the table, and the column name is the name of a new column being added, and data type is a type of data for the new column. And the syntax for modify a column and a drop column looks like this. Alter table statement. Let's start adding a new column to a table. Now we want to add a column email which will accept 20 alphanumeric characters. So alter table followed by table name employees and then add the new column name which is email followed by data type varchar of 50 or 20. Let's execute this statement. By this we will see a new column email will be added to a table. Now let's see modifying a data type of a column email now which will accept 50 characters and it will not allow null values. So the statement looks like this. Alter table, table name employees and then alter column name email followed by a data type and then a constraint not null. Once we execute this statement or a command, then a data type for the column email will be changed and also a constraint not null will be applied. Let's see one more statement. Now we want to drop a column email. So alter table, table name which is employees and then followed by drop column and the column name which is email. By this a column email will be deleted from the table employees. As we can see, a column email has been deleted. Insert statement. The insert statement is used to insert new rows of data into a table. It allows you to add one or more rows to a table with the specified values for each column. The general syntax for the insert statement. Insert into. This is a keyword combination used to indicate that you want to insert the data into a table. Table name. This is the name of the table in which you want to insert the data. Column 1 and column 2 where we specify where we want to insert the data. Values. This keyword is used to indicate that you are providing a values to be inserted. Value 1 and value 2, it specifies the actual values to be inserted. The values must be provided in the same order as the corresponding columns. This is a general syntax where we can insert a single row into a table, and also at the same time we can insert multiple rows into a table. Let's start inserting a data into a table. Insert statement inserts a new row into a table. Insert into a table name specifies the table where you want to insert the data, and then specify the columns into which you want to insert the data, and then specify the corresponding values for each column. In this example, I am going to select all the columns of the employees table and I am passing a corresponding values for each column. So let's execute this command and we will see a new row will be inserted in the table. So right click and select top 1000, and where we can see that a new row has been inserted. In SQL, we can use the insert statement to insert multiple rows into a table at once. This is often referred to as a bulk insert. Each set of values within the parentheses represents a row of data to be inserted. So we can have multiple set of values separated by commas. So in this example, I am going to insert 3 rows in one SQL statement. Let's execute this insert statement where we can see a 3 rows has affected and we can see 3 rows has been inserted in the table. Select statement. Select statement is used to retrieve data from one or more tables in a database. It allows you to specify the columns you want to retrieve. The general syntax for the select statement. Select. This keyword is used to indicate that you want to retrieve data from the database. Column 1, column 2, here we are specifying a columns we want to retrieve the data from. The from keyword is used to specify the table from which we want to retrieve the data. And the table name is the name of the table from which we want to retrieve the data. Star is a special character used to select every column in a table without having to name each one individually. Let's start querying a data from a database. Select statement is used to fetch a data from one or more tables. In the first example, we are going to retrieve a data of specific columns from the employees table. That is employee ID, employee name and employee number. So the statement is select star from employees, and then we will remove the star, and then we will specify the columns that we want to retrieve. And once we execute this data, it retrieves the specific columns from the employees table. In second example, we are going to retrieve a data of all columns from the employees table. And the statement is select star from employees. This will retrieve data of all columns from employees table. Where clause. Where clause is used to filter records. It is used to extract only those records that fulfill a specified condition. Where condition specifies the condition must be met for a row to be included in the result set. The condition in the where clause can consisting of one or more logical expressions using comparison operators. Equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equals to, and less than or equals to. In this example, we are going to retrieve all the customers whose age is greater than 25. In where clause, we can also use logical operators like and or to combine multiple conditions. And operator displays the records if all the conditions separated by and are true. Or operator displays the records if any conditions separated by or are true. Let's see an examples. In the first example, we are going to retrieve all the products where the price is between 10 and 20. That is, the price should be greater than or equals to 10 and the price should be less than or equals to 10. If the both conditions met, then the product will be included in the result set. In the second example, we are going to retrieve the orders where the customer's country is either USA or Canada. If any one condition is met, that is, if the customer's country is either USA or it's Canada, then that order will be included in the result set. Let's see some examples for the where clause. In the first example, we want to fetch an employee with the employee number 001, and the statement looks like this. Select star from employees where employee number is equals to 001. Once we execute this statement, this will retrieve a employee record where the employee number is equals to 001. In the second example, we want to fetch the employees whose age is greater than 40. So the statement is select star from employees where age is greater than 40. Once we execute this statement, we will get all those employees whose age is greater than 40. As we can see here, we have only one record that satisfies the condition. Let's check the select star from employees. As we can see here that there is only one employee which is satisfying the condition. So now let's change the age from 40 to 30, where we can see now a different result. That is, we have 4 employees which is satisfying the condition. So in our last example, where we are going to fetch an employee whose age is greater than 40 and the salary is greater than 50,000. So we have 2 conditions with AND operator. So select star from employees where age is greater than 40 and salary is greater than 50,000. So here we will get all those employees records which fulfill both the conditions, which is age is greater than 40 and the salary is greater than 50,000. As we can see, there is only one record that satisfies the condition. So let's just change some values and we can see a different results. As we can see here, we have a different results based upon the conditions age is greater than 30. And once we change the salary to some other value, and we can see a different results that satisfies the conditions. Update statement. Update statement is used to modify existing data in a table. The general syntax for the update statement. Update table name specifies the table in which you want to update the data. Set column 1 equals to value 1, column 2 equals to value 2, specifies the columns you want to update and their corresponding new values. Where condition specifies the condition that determines which rows will be updated. Let's start modifying some data. Let's see the update commands. In our first example, we are going to update the age of an employee where the employee number is 005. Update employees set age is equals to 50 where employee number is equals to 005. Once we execute this command, then we are setting the age 50 for the employee where the employee number is equals to 005. In our second example, we are going to update the salary of an employee where the employee ID is 1. So update employees set salary equals to 60,000 where employee ID is equals to 1. In this example, we are going to update multiple columns with different values. We are going to set the value of age to 50 and is active to 1 for the row where the employee number is 002. Update employees set age is equals to 50, is active is equals to 0 where employee number is equals to 002. So once we execute this command, we are going to update the values for the multiple columns. As you can see, for the employee number 002, two columns data has been updated. Now in this example, we are going to update is active equals to 1 for all the employees. So we are not going to specify the where condition. By this, we are going to update is active equals to 0 for all the employees. By this, all the employees will be marked as inactive. As you can see here, the is active is 0 for all the rows. Delete statement. The delete statement deletes one or more rows from a table. It allows you to specify a condition to identify rows that should be deleted. The general syntax looks like this: delete from table name where condition. In the below examples, we are going to delete a student whose ID is equals to 4. If we don't specify the where condition, then we are going to delete all the data from the students table. Let's see the delete commands. In our first example, we are going to delete an employee where the employee number is 001. The statement is delete from employees table where employee number is equals to 001. Once we execute this command, a row with employee number is equals to 001 will be deleted. In our second example, we are going to delete an employee where age is greater than 40. So we are going to delete a bulk operation, that is, we are going to delete all the employees where the age is greater than 40. So delete from employees where age greater than 40. Once we execute this command, as we can see, 3 rows has been affected, that is 3 rows was deleted. Now the final statement, delete all employees. Delete from employees, it will delete all the employees data. As we can see now, there will be no records exist inside the employees table. Let's recap what we generalized so far. SQL is a programming language designed to manipulate and manage data stored in a relational databases. A relational database is a database that organizes the information into one or more tables. A table is a collection of data organized into rows and columns. Create table command creates a new table. Insert into adds a new row to a table. Select queries data from a table. Alter table command changes an existing table. Update edits a row in a table. Delete rows from a table. Constraints add information about how a column can be used. In our next video, we will gonna have a deeper look in querying, filtering and sorting by using different operators, and also working with the date functions, aggregating the data with functions like count, sum, average, minimum and maximum, and group by and having.